Darshan, tell us about the founding of Credora.
Yeah, of course. So Credora was founded really very much on a need that I had as a trader. So used to run options market making books for most of my career prior to Credora. And as part of being a trader on a crypto exchange, it was really difficult to access credit when you were trading across multiple exchanges. And how do you prove your creditworthiness in a world where all of that risk is really difficult to quantify? So kind of went down this path of trying to prove ourselves as creditworthy and realized that this was a pain point across all of private credit, especially that in crypto. And then after FTX and a lot of that private credit sort of evaporated and the appetite to lend evaporated, we saw that private credit was or credit risk or different types of similar risk were re-emerging in DeFi in form of a token. So it'd be strategy tokens, stable coins, wrap tokens, restaking tokens, and all of them have like on-chain and off-chain risk that needs to be quantified in a more holistic way. And in a way that is easy for users to understand. And so that's kind of what led us down this path and where we ended up.
That's great. Now, as with most things kind of converge. At one point, TradFi is on its own path, and then crypto on its own path. And over time, things feel like they're converging. And being able to measure risk through ratings is one of those things that DeFi and crypto is adopting from TradFi. How is that a good thing?
I think for users, firstly, like right now, there is perhaps more choice in crypto than there used to even in traditional markets. And so for the user experience, it's pretty challenging right now to know where I should be putting my money and what sort of risk I should be expecting, because everything is driven by APY. And you sort by that and sort by TVL, and then you kind of make an educated guess. And yeah, it's not a fun user experience, and it's something that protocols have approached us about, like, how do we help users make this decision? So I think the reason to do it really is starting from first principles in terms of we're going to keep getting more and more choice in DeFi. It's an open, permissionless system by design. It will get more and more complex with lots more choice. And so it's just going to improve the user experience is the first thing. I think the second thing is in traditional markets, and as they come on chain, RWAs build new products on top of other things. And so asset-backed securities and mortgage-backed securities are effectively just bundling together lots of different lending products. And so to be able to do that effectively, you need to have ratings that you can trust, which is obviously the failure that happened in traditional markets or for the financial crisis. But broadly, if you can lean on those ratings in a credible way, you can build lots of interesting financial products on top. And I'd say the third thing is probably like institutions will demand it. And so if our goal is to bring institutions on chain, bring real world assets on chain, and a lot of things that RedStone is working towards, they will want some form of standardization for risk, and in a way that they understand and will get through their compliance and their risk teams. And I think ratings can be a piece of that.
Yeah. We're going to go through a much longer interview at some point in the future, and I'd love to hear more about what TradFi is looking for, and also the standardization of how to measure risk, because that's a really interesting topic. Let's fast forward to what happened yesterday. RedStone announced the acquisition of Credora. How is that marriage of two households a good thing? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think what Credora does really well is it's gone very deep into the risk of things and spend a lot of time on that standardization and being able to quantify risk in a way that's user-friendly but institutionally credible, where perhaps one of the things that RedStone brings that we've been lacking is complementary data. That is, RedStone's strong suit, is being able to bring all of this different price data and various surrounding data around that in a packaged up way that's smart contract friendly. So being able to deliver that on chain seamlessly and in a credible way. And then I'd say like distribution, like where RedStone is distributed across so many different chains, across RWA, across lending, across DeFi in every sense of the word. And so for us, being able to bring ratings packaged into that existing suite of products is a great way to get adoption and for it to become the standard for risk in crypto. And ultimately, with a lot of these kind of businesses, it's always chicken and egg, where you need something to drive the need for something else. And so with ratings, it's always like a challenge to get people to realize why they need it. But if you can bring them something that they already need alongside this new thing, they will see the value of those ratings much more clearly without having to necessarily sacrifice anything. And so we've shown it over time with Morpho, where you can see the TVL of vaults that are rated versus unrated, and they perform better, they're stickier, people trust them more, and effectively the more distribution you have, the more people you can commit to that particular story. So for us, it was great to enter this partnership because we feel like it's the best way to get it into the hands of people that need it. It's great.